r/AskReddit with mr.greatstory. Former burglars of Reddit, where is one place people should never hide valuables? This doesn't exactly answer the question asked, but it is a tip on potentially protecting your valuables. Bear with me, because it's a bit strange. Glue a spare key, not one that opens something important, under your doormat. Weird, right? A few years ago I did this in addition to installing cameras. Over the last couple of years, I've seen this exact scenario play out. Thief walks to the door, checks under the mat, unsuccessfully try to grab the key, backs up, looks around to see if anyone is watching, presumably because they think they have fallen for some trap/prank where they are being surveilled, and leaves. They don't even search for another way in, because it spooks them. LED lighting is cheap these days. If your house is gonna be vacant for a while, consider investing in one of those smart lighting home automation systems, where you can set different rooms to turn on and off at different points in the day. Kitchen during dinner time, bedrooms at night, etc. My neighbor did that, and it fooled me. I rang his doorbell to ask to borrow a pressure washer wand, with no response. Figured he was with family and wasn't taking any more visitors, but it turns out he's been on vacation for the past 4 days. Had my house burglarized by a so-called friend. He missed by far the most valuable thing. It's just a safe sitting on the laundry room floor. He missed it because I'm a scumbag and had it covered with a mountain of dirty clothes and towels. So not being tidy saved me upwards of $35k. For the college kids that might read this, don't keep your textbooks in your car. On the day of my finals, I had about 6 textbooks I was gonna sell after my finals. I left the books in my car while I took my tests. I came back to find someone broke my window out to steal the textbooks. The cop told me that it's very common and unlikely they will catch the guy, so I was out approximately $700, which was huge as a college student. Also, side note, I used to do door-to-door sales for ADT. People would let me in the house and just tell me where all the important stuff was before even verifying I was legit. Don't do that. I've seen people make false outlets for hiding valuables like cash and jewelry. Just an idea, a burglar would have to be at your home for a long time to start checking outlets. Someone will be in for a surprise if they open the safe I keep in my nightstand. It's full of my kids' baby teeth. Easy cash trade with a tooth fairy though. I had a Malamute dog years ago, had another 2 later, but this was a particularly fluffy one. A friend had heard that it was possible to spin their fur, so I saved enough to knit several jumpers. Anyway, a burglar took stuff from our garage and this massive box of fur too. Must have been quite a surprise. A burglar stole my dad's box of dried up dog shit from the porch once. My dad goes out in the yard once a week to clean up the dog turds and usually throws them in an Amazon box and then tosses it. He left it on the porch for some reason and forgot about it. He realized he forgot about it when he saw it spilled open on the street a block down. We laugh about the turd burglar still. We had our apartments burgled. There were 4 apartments in the area. Guy kicked down the door and apparently was in and out pretty quickly. I came home from work. The cop told me, never leave valuables in your nightstand. Might have even said bottom drawer. Sure enough, mine were checked. I could tell because my envelopes were moved from where I placed them. I lived in a 4 apartment block. Every apartment got broken into except mine, but the only easily accessible window to my apartment was my dog's room. Nothing like 90 pounds of arsehole that doesn't like someone waking him up from a nap. Fire safes only are safe from fires. My sister's house burned completely. The fire department didn't put a drop of water on it, and the propane added to the heat until the underground tank ran out. There was nothing but ash and rubble. When we broke into her fireproof safe, the plastic on the inside was mostly melted, but she recovered most of the paper documents inside, including about $2,000 in paper cash. Edit. Finally heard back from my sister. It was just a Sentry safe she bought at Costco. She sent me a couple of pics, and I've posted them here. Don't keep the spare keys near the front door, under pot plant, under the doormat, top of the door frame, etc. Where should people keep that spare key? In their spare pants, of course. Why are you excluding active burglars from the conversation? All active burglars, please reply to this comment, and please don't be using a VPN. Nice try FBI. Not today, CIA. Not falling for this, me 6. Obligatory, never done it, but you'd be surprised at how often people leave their cars unlocked with nice things inside. A lot of people actually leave them unlocked with the keys inside, lol. It's how the majority of cars are stolen. Eliminating the easy opportunity is the easiest step, and will do a lot to keep your valuables safe. There are also quite a lot of cars still in circulation, where the door locks don't use the digital portion of the key, meaning that the same physical shaped key is used for literally millions of cars. My old Ford Focus kept being unlocked by people when parked outside my house back in the day, and I found out my key would open my friend's Ford Focus too. Obviously, these keys won't let you start the car, but they'll give access to the cabin no problem. My cousin lives in a bad neighborhood, so she went to a thrift store, bought an obvious looking jewelry box, and a bunch of expensive looking costume jewelry that's actually worthless, and put it in the box. She keeps this in a conspicuous place. Then she leaves a few 20s on top. This way if someone breaks in, they will grab this and run, ignoring some of her well hidden valuables. And where are those well hidden valuables? Just, out of curiosity. Random medicine containers. My mom used to keep rings in a mid-all container until my dad cleaned the bathroom and threw out some expired meds. Good thing we realized it before the trash was picked up. Inside vacuum cleaner. We hid money in it and it got stolen with everything else in the house back in Syria. Edit. Thief was the military forces that invaded the area, not someone I know or someone desperate. Your shed. Seriously. Lock your freaking shed. Even if your house is well locked, if your shed isn't, I likely have access to a plethora of tools I can use to gain access. Don't help the burglar. Lock your shed. Don't leave things out that people can see from outside your home or car. If you buy a new TV or computer, break down the box it came in. Don't just leave it by your garbage bin. Lock doors and windows. Keep your handbag closed and closed. If someone wants to break in, they will. Don't keep everything out in the open. And have insurance on anything that is valuable. If someone wants to break in, they will. This is the most important takeaway from this thread. Most neighborhoods are relatively empty during the day, and there's often not good visibility to back and side doors. A safe. Also, almost all locks are bullshit, unless you had a locksmith put in security pins, but the robbers can just take the safe and figure it out later, if time is an issue. Edit. On the lock issue, if you are in the US, there are about 5 major door lock manufacturers, or thief can have just 5 bump keys, plus a few others just in case, and get in your house easily. A bump key is just a referenced key that is ground down to 4 or 5 equal triangular points. When inserted with the proper bump key to the lock, you just bump the back of the key with a rubber mallet and try to time the turn when all of the pins align. Usually just takes about 5 tries or less. Not a burglar or former burglar, but never hide keys and lock combinations in a jar near the door or under your welcome mat. Also, if you purchase something big, like TV or something big, never leave the box near your home. The burglar would see it and know you have something valuable in there. I know this sounds crazy, but mow your lawn frequently. It'll show that you have been and had enough time to mow your lawn, and that someone must be there. It's obvious, but only announce your trips when you're finished so at first nobody knows you're not there. Edit. Wow. How did this get so many likes and replies? Only posted this barely yesterday. Obligatory, not a burglar, but I did work at a bank. Another teller told me about how this woman brought in a flower pot to the girls' teller station. The bank teller was understandably confused when the woman pointed at the flower pot and says, "I need to make a deposit." Turns out, this woman had planted thousands of dollars in her flower pot over the years. The problem? She watered that flower for years with the money planted in the soil. Not only that, but she wrapped every bill in duct tape to keep the water from messing up the bills. The teller had to dig into the pot and help this woman unwrap money from duct tape. The teller said the worst part was the bills were soggy and moldy when they unwrapped them, so most of them were torn, or the ink was faded beyond readability, so the woman lost money. Don't put your money in flower pots or wrap it in duct tape. Edit to clarify to anyone who has questions. I have no idea why this lady did this, except that she must have thought it kept her cash safe. I was told this story by my coworker when I first started as a bank teller. She was always a truthful person, so I have reason to believe her. However, I recognize this is hearsay in terms of storytelling. I'm just repeating what I was told. The government does take damaged bills back and refunds you your money if you meet their guidelines. Links to said bureau and guidelines are in many comments below. Please utilize this if you are worried about your bill's integrity. Also, I worked at a credit union, so we were required to do ridiculous and odd things like this for customers. This is just one in many strange stories I heard and or experience. To understand the teller's line of thinking, please note that any signs of a customer being unhappy was dealt with by being verbally reprimanded in front of the customer, even if we were following policy. Pamalingkambed Savage Award. Thank you for watching. Tell me which one was your favorite. Like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more. The next video will be even more interesting. You are a legend.